What scientific breakthrough are we closer to than most people realize? Genetic editing. I think we'll soon see news of experimental gene therapy, treatments for cancer, diabetes, and perhaps Alzheimer's. CRISPR-Cas9 and all. The next logical step would be to design babies. 2. A cure for symptomatic rabies. Using monoclonal antibodies, scientists were able to alter the immune response in rats' CNS significantly into infection. This is awesome because before this treatment, once you showed symptoms, you were essentially dead. Rabies is also a lot more common in Asia and Africa, with roughly 56,000 cases a year. 3. Earthquake warning system up to 2 hours. Permanent GPS antennas are located all over the world and more densely at fault zones. About a year ago, geologists found that if they stacked all historical GPS data proximal to large earthquakes, they saw there is a very small acceleration of the surface about 2 hours before the actual earthquake. We are literally only missing the technology to make even more precise GPS measures, so we can do this in real time on singular regions. It is proven that this is an actual thing that happens, and we can literally warn of earthquakes with a significant time span. 4. Growing transplantable organs. 5. Curing addiction with a diet drug, GLP-1s. There have been lifelong alcoholics, drug addicts, people with eating disorders, gamblers, etc. who've lost all desire for these things while on Ozempic, Wegovy, and semaglutide. They're conducting studies already. 6. A cure for HIV seems to be on the horizon. Some scientists managed to cut it out of cells using CRISPR-9 last year. 7. Synthetic biology. Shit's gonna get weird real soon. What is suspicious to own but not illegal? For me, water. My neighbors had well water that would dry up. They asked if they could run a hose and put it in their well, and they would pay what was owed. Then they bought a big above-ground pool. I filled it for them, and they always paid my part. One day, the water meter guy knocked with an officer wanting to know why I was using so much water. I explained and showed them many hoses to reach my neighbor's house, and they were there to help explain. The officer told me that such high water usage was throwing a red flag, so they were sent out to investigate to make sure no cannabis growing was happening. 2. I got pulled over late at night, and when the cop shined his light into the cargo area of my station wagon, the most visible objects were a shovel, rope, gloves, and the giant tarp-wrapped bundle of yard refuse I was bringing to the town compost in the morning. At least he had a sense of humor about it when he strolled up to my window. So we're off to bury the body under the cover of night, huh? 3. Lockpicks. They're seen as thieves' tools, but lockpicking isn't uncommon for a hobby. 4. A collection of other people's hair. 5. Too many of any one innocuous item. You've got 10 citrus squeezers or 25 dusters. I'm going to be side-eyeing you. What's a habit you picked up during quarantine that you still maintain? I picked up running as a hobby, acceptable excuse to leave the house. I've since lost 50 pounds and am now training for a half marathon. So, there's that. 2. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but my work-life balance was forcefully reprioritized in the best way. And I don't think I'll ever give an actual fuck about a job or money ever again. I mean, I care to the extent that I want to try and do good work, and obviously I care about money to the extent that my bills need paid, but I realize there are plenty of jobs out there and plenty of time to advance my career. I only have one family though, and my kids are kids for a very finite amount of time. I'll never again skip a family outing for an extra shift, nor stay late because this really needs done. And that can be tomorrow's problem. I'm late for home. 3. Having a wardrobe of nice work pajamas and going to sleep way too late. 4. Sanitize my hands and wash my hands as soon as I reached home. 5. Permanent resting bitch face. 6. Started dating a friend of mine since we had more time to hang out and found out we really enjoyed each other. We're married with a baby now. I suppose you could call him a habit in a way.
What's the pettiest reason you won't date someone? This girl was beautiful, driven, intelligent, we got along well. She was perfect, except that she would snap her fingers whenever someone would say something she liked. Every conversation, peppered with snaps. She'd do it instead of applauding at concerts too. Eventually I realized that this couldn't be my life. 2. I tell myself it's because she was a smoker, but deep down I know it's because I didn't like her name. 3. I asked them how they were doing, and they said #blessed. 4. Doesn't say please or thank you to servers or anyone in a customer service role. I feel the need to say please and thanks on their behalf, and that's a job I just can't take on for life. 5. I once had a girl interested in me. She was very attractive, athletic body and all that jazz. Problem was, she had the exact same name as my best friend, male. Couldn't do it. 6. She has a husband. 7. I once received a topless picture from a guy I dated at the time. Below the picture he typed, "This is called pure strength and force, kitty." I don't know what's worse, the way he flexed his muscles was very cringy, the message he sent or the fact he called me kitty. It's even worse in my first language.
What counts as a bad habit, but it's actually good? Shaking/vibrating your leg when you have to be sitting for a long time gets the blood moving, better than being completely stationary for hours. 2. Gaming in moderation. Studies have shown it improves problem solving, critical thinking, multitasking, decision-making, hand-eye coordination, spatial awareness, memory, and concentration. 3. Taking a nap during lunch breaks. Some look down on it, but I get a lot of energy from it. 4. Talking to yourself. Although it can be taken as a sign of loneliness, it also helps you concentrate and organize ideas, of course, without overdoing it. 5. Being lazy from time to time. Sleeping in, just doing nothing. There are so many hustle ads and posters everywhere. My girlfriend and some of my friends fill so much their schedule that there is barely any time for rest, or enjoying a book or a game or something. Me, having pretty busy everyday life, I always make sure to have at least 10 or more hours a week to do nothing productive. Enjoy life, nature, friends, alone time, watch stupid videos, play games. 6. Saying no. 7. In moderation should be added to most of the answers.